Hey everybody, my name is Poison Nucky and we're going to have another 2 versus 2 Total War Warhammer 2 online battle. Now I'm going to be playing as the followers of Nagash. Let's pause this as it's pretty action-packed. And my teammate is going to be the Greenskins, the boys, and I love them. We actually do a lot of coordination in this battle and I really enjoyed it. And my opponents are going to be the forces of Empire combined with vampire counts. Now you might think they might, lore-wise, they will never be together, but actually they are. They're actually, like, the vampire counts are just a part of the Empire, actually. So technically, this is not too unlorely to have them work together. Now Vlad von Karstein on the other side, he'd probably be killing the Empire, but otherwise, let's get into those army introductions. Now over here in the front line, we're just going to have some orc boys, black orcs. Lots of Crimson Killers, the best infantry in the game, essentially, for fighting other infantry by far, and the most expensive. Warlords Boys, Regiment Renown, Armor Sundering, fantastic. The Arachnarok Queen, just great overall. I love this unit. I understand why almost everyone brings this unit in. And more Black Orcs and Orc Boys. Black Orcs, very powerful front line. Now, how am I going to support this front line? I saw my my teammate, did not have many night goblins. So those apply poison. So I'm going to support his front line with Crypt Ghouls. Now, Crypt Ghouls are a unique unit only for the followers of Nagash subsection of the Tomb Kings, usually only a vampire count unit. But I'm going to bring them. Apply the poison, help the front line. Poison is such a fantastic debuff, and if you can find units that can apply them, fantastic debuff overall. Now, I'm going to have not one, not two, but 3 units of sepulchral stalkers. Man, that's such a weird name. Now, these units are anti-large armor piercing, and they get vanguard deployment, but I deploy them in the back line, as they're just going to stop enemies to cycle charges. Just in case they bring, like, Empire Knights, Demigryphs, the usual stuff. They do well in that matchup. And I do have one unit deployed in the front. Now these are going to be the Regiment of Renown, which have Stalk. I deployed it just in case they deployed right into the front of my Skeleton Horsemen Archers. Now over here on the left, I'm going to have some Chaos, not Chaos. Why am I so chaosy today? Sorry, I guess I'm a heretic. 2 units of Fellbats just to pressure the back line. Only unit that Nagash gets, and a Chariot Squad. Chariot Squad for the win. 2 units of Skeleton Archer Chariots, Arkin the Black, and some Teeth Robbers, the Goblin Wolf Chariots, because they deserve to get a spot with the Tomb King Chariots as well. Like, look how badass these wolves. And then there's next to Skeleton. Look at these bonies. How weak they are compared to the Teeth Robbers. Such a odd unit. But over here to my opponent's side, they're just going to have some zombies. You know, the casual zombie. Litter. Very annoying to get past. Just great overall for just holding the line. Graveguard. Some spearmans on the flanks. Some good old handgunners. A steam tank. Woo, the mighty steam tank. Unbreakable. Causes terror. Such a fun unit. Maybe not the best, but a very fun one. Some Hellstorm rocket batteries, and the main hitting force is going to be the Blood Knights. Blood Knights along with 2 Banshees, not 1 but 2. That's going to be a lot of power against our lords, and of course we're going to have some handbows, some Outrider Knights. It's just a very balanced army overall, but what the hard-hitting power of a Vargulf. Interesting that too many cavalry forces from the Empire, at least I'm not Demigryph Knights. I was expecting more. But overall, let's get into this battle. Now, this is going to be a really fast push. As we see what's going on here, and we move because look at this. A Night Goblin War Boss and a Big Boss are going to be moving forward. And of course, let's see here. We got Karl Franz and Vlad von Karstein. He's going to move forward, and this is going to be a pretty big fight. Now, it's going to take a little bit to get into position as we move all of our infantry units up. We do have, we did not bring that many ranged units, first of all. I didn't bring any Ushabti, and my friend here did not bring any, like, the Rusty Arrows. Usually the Rusty Arrows is brought in almost all matchup. Interesting that I didn't bring it. He did bring Morgar's Mangy Marauders, though. I really like that choice. Now, I'm going to be defending his archers with the use of the Sepulchral Stalkers, and I'm going to have a lot of pressure with the Chariot Squad. Man, look at this Chariot Squad. Chariot Squad for the win. I'm just going to charge on zombies. I realize that zombies are not high value, but I'm just going to get them off the battlefield as fast as possible. I really don't want to deal with them, and the zombies are going to be crumbling very quickly, and now they're disintegrating. So one unit of zombies straight off the bat, getting a little bit of value. Now my teammate here did an odd choice here. He's sent his 2 heroes into the fray against some cheap infantry and a steam tank. Not very fantastic, and the wall goes down. What I really love about the wall is that it affects all friendly units, not just the Greenskins. So my Crypt Ghouls are going to be going much faster. We're going to head into the battlefield, and we're going to be chasing the right flank is going to have the cavalry force, and make sure to screen them out with our archers and stalkers. Not much happening in the back flank. We do send the Arachnarok Queen along with the summoned Spider Hatchlings to disrupt the back line, but it's not getting into the range components of the army. The handgunners are over there. While the army is very disorganized, if you can see, like, there's a large front line here and a back line that's not supporting the front line, which is a big fault. We're going to have a big fight over here, taking out the halberds as fast as possible. It's to get out, stop them from getting, and we're having a little too bunched up. Now I hope my opponent doesn't make, and he does take advantage of this with a huge firestorm. But we're going to move out of position relatively quickly, and very luckily for us, the firestorm moves out of the way. Now the Crypt Ghouls are going to be supporting the Black Orcs, as I said earlier, applying the poison to the units that really need it, reducing their combat efficiency very greatly, as the Crimson Killers are just going to cut through zombies. It's a very blobby battle so far, as the Vampire Counts and the Steam Tank blobbing up here. We're going to have blobbing in the center because of the Ragnarok Queen, and some flanking power with the Orc Boys. And of course, he's going to get completely surrounded, as there's way too many units on the left flank. And a very, very back and forth battle so far. The Crimson Killers, a lot of magic going on, and my opponent is smart to realize that he needs to focus the high value targets, including so that means the Black Orcs and the Crimson Killers. Now I'm going to get some backline pressure as well with my chariot crew. I'm charging into the back line. The Arachnarok Queen was the hammer, and I was the anvil. Unfortunately, the Queen gets routed here. He's going to come back, luckily for us. But we did a lot of damage by hammering into the backside of all these units. The Steam Tank is going to try to come back to defend, but it's okay. We can just charge into some cheap swordsmen. We're just going to do a lot of charging this game. Now, the Blood Knights, in general, the cavalry that was on the right flank have taken a lot of damage as they fought against my Stalkers, which is a terrible play. Stalkers are so good at taking out cav, and they're fantastic overall for just this one deal. A lot of players, Tomb Kings players, will bring, what's it called, Necropolis Knights with halberds, but this unit, while they are slower, I believe they're just as good, as they do apply a poison as well. They're just not as fantastic in chasing down. Now, you can see right now, they're shooting poison and applying that poison. That's so great. A second wall is going to go down, which is going to increase our combat effectiveness massively. And I'm going to send over all my Stalkers to deal with that Vargulf. Now, my Fellbats finally coming in. I'm trying to look for some targets this entire game, because my opponent, I applied a lot of pressure to the back line. Fellbats didn't have too much to actually attack. The Arachnarok Queen is going to come back on the left flank, supported with Crypt Ghouls and Orc Boys. We're actually going to win back this left pocket, which at first was actually a loss. Applying poison everywhere we go. Now over in the center, it's going to be a huge blob. It's been a huge blob. Stalkers versus the Corpse Cart, a great matchup. And a poison being applied everywhere. You can see the spit as the Tomb Kings fire. And this is in terms of blobbed, I think we have the advantage because we've got Black Orcs. Black Orcs combined with the Stalkers is going to do as well against everything that the enemy can bring. And they're going to have trouble with that. They're going to have to use some large AoE magic, and I'm going to summon in some Ushabti. We quite literally have everything needed. Ushabti, Stalkers, and Black Orcs. A terrifying combination. Not a unit composition you want to be fighting anytime soon. Now it's going to be just a big fight. Banshee's in here fighting against my Eyes of the Desert. Interestingly enough, and the huge fight is just going to be in the center. We're going to use a Tormentor Sword from the Night Goblin War Boss. He's going to reduce the melee attack of everybody in this area, and that's going to turn the tide and the balance of power into our favor as most of the vampire units start to crumble, and the steam tank is going to be the only thing holding them together along with the Vargulf. But the Vargulf is now going to be fighting the Stalkers. So the Stalkers are pretty much built to fighting Vargulf like this. Vargulf does not have anti-large, and I know that so many zombies. I hate fighting vampire counts in general, man. And Skaven. I just don't like fighting these factions that summon a lot, as they're just a pain in the pain in the hindquarters, and it's essentially you have to out-micro them. You have to be better than to outplay you. The skill set for a vampire or a Skaven player is much. You don't have to be that amazing to play them, as long as you get the concepts correctly, while the other player has to deal with all that crap. A lot of summons going down. I'm going to summon some more units. Arkin the Black in here. Just look at this battle. You don't see Greenskins and Tomb Kings versus Empire and Vampire counts that often, but it's just a huge monster match with Skeleton Warriors, Stalkers, Black Orcs, Zombies, Goblins, and the Steam Tank and Vargulf. Just look at this. Vargulf finally goes down, and with that, the opponent's going to lose any holding that they have left in this engagement. I'm going to speed it a little up here, as the outcome of the battle is going to be mainly determined. It's just going to be a grind to take it out. The bats just chasing the units off the battlefield while we just continuously charge into the enemy units. Now, I'm not going to charge with the skeleton chariots, as with this amount of mass over here, I'm not going to get good contact. And I can't believe the Blood Knights are actually still alive, and Arkin the Black is going to be chasing them. We're just going to do a little bit of cycle charging. Especially with Arkin. Arkin's going to do very well. My skeleton chariots, man, I'm so fantastic about this. A lot of backline pressure, and it pulled off with all these chariots and powerful melee units. And I liked the Crypt Ghouls. They actually did something this game compared to the last replay I did with Crypt Ghouls, at least. And with that, we have the win. Okay, it's just Vargulf takes so long to take down. It's one of the most powerful. It just regenerates. It just. Even though I have so much anti-large potential here, just taking this one little puppy. Look, oh, is Fluff Puppy down? Please say it's down. It's not down. It was just knocked over. And good old Arkin the Black charging. Is it finally dead? It has to be. Yes, it is. And just some Banshees, which are going to disintegrate, and the Steam Tank went down. Look at this blob. Like, you need some really heavy magic or some sort of, like, cannon fire to take out this kind of blob. Let's speed up just a little bit more, because we really don't want to watch them just fight some heroes that are definitely going to lose. Another skeleton zombie summon. I really like Arkin the Black. Definitely my favorite lord. Such a great cinematic unit, too. Look at his staff. Fantastic replay overall. Now, if it would end for me, that would be just great. I didn't realize how, grindy this fight was. Of course, he does bring ethereal units and Vlad von Karsheim himself. So there we go, and I believe that's going to be the win. Now let's get into some unit efficiency. Crypt Ghouls did very well, actually. 57, 142, 79, 102 kills, 26. Well, 26 is not that great, amazing. But Crypt Ghouls usually do awful. And in this case, as long as you have the support of armored units backing them up, Crypt Ghouls did fairly well, which I was really impressed with. And I actually should definitely bring them again if I'm supported with Black Orcs, if I ever fight with another Greenskin player. Now, my Skeleton Archer Chariots did very well, 132, 97, and 72 kills on the Chariot Squad. I got into the back line of handgunners and crossbowmen with these units, and they did so much damage. And a great use of the Stalkers to deal with the Empire Knights, the Reichsguard, and the Blood Knights. Blood Knights were taken out fairly effectively. You can tell a unit is really good if you efficiently take it out and they only have 50 kills, which is, that goes to show. But overall, very fun game, and I hope you guys liked it. So leave a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you want more. I'll catch you guys later.